So I got one more video for you tonight real quick before the sun goes down in the garden, and that is how to prune tomatoes. It is so easy, even though the internet makes it seem very complex. Let me show you. So the way that you prune your tomatoes will depend on if you're growing determinate or indeterminate tomatoes. Let's talk about the determinate first. So I talked about the differences between determinate and indeterminate tomatoes in the last video. If you missed it, go back and watch it. But to prune your determinate tomatoes, all you're going to do is prune at the bottom for good airflow. So you want to make sure you cut off all of your lower branches like you see here so that there's good airflow at the base of your tomato plant so that it does not get diseased. And whenever you start seeing your leaves getting diseased like these or yucky, just cut them off. Other than the stem, you do not want any part of the tomato plant touching the ground. Now for the indeterminate tomatoes, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to prune off the bottom leaves because you do not want anything touching the ground. You're also going to prune off any diseased leaves like these, which I'll be cutting off in a second. But you're also going to prune off what is called the suckers. So to get rid of your suckers, you're going to find your main stem and you're going to follow it up. Wherever you have a branch going out horizontally like this one, whatever's in the armpit of that is the sucker. Now sometimes they're tiny and sometimes they're huge. See this one? It's pretty big. We're going to get rid of that. That was a big one. I've been neglecting this tomato plant. There's another obvious one over here. So here's my main stem. Here's the branch going out. There's the sucker. But sometimes they're a lot smaller. So here's our main stem. Here's the branch going out. See that little tiny thing in the crevice there? That's a sucker. We're just gonna snap it off. Now, you technically do not have to cut off the suckers if you do not want to. The problem with that is that the indeterminate tomatoes will get so big and have so many branches that they basically just explode. And when you try to harvest tomatoes, you're snapping off branches and it's hard to get in there. And then it's so compacted that it gets full of diseases because there's no good airflow. So we cut them off because it honestly just makes it way easier to manage an indeterminate tomato plant. Now, if you don't want to, you don't have to take all of them off. You can just take some of them off. But I'm telling you, if you do not take off at least half of your suckers here in the next month, you're going to have a tomato plant that's completely unmanageable. It's going to be flopped over. It's going to be growing all over the ground. You're not going to be able to mow your grass, and it's going to drive you nuts. Plus, the second any part of this tomato plant touches the ground, it's going to get diseased and it's going to die. And that means no tomatoes. So that's it. Do not overcomplicate gardening. Get out there and prune those tomatoes. Happy homesteading!